What is good, YouTube world? What is the deal? You already know what you tuned in to. It's the one man, 4,000 flavor of DFW Sports, rocking everything in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, from all the major sports teams, from the Cowboys, Rangers, Stars, Mavericks, Wings, FC Dallas. Y'all know how I rock on this channel. It's a late night session in the booth, man, as we drop in a little, a little preview track as we're going to talk about Dan Quinn today, top of the subject, and this Cowboys defense. Where do the Cowboys go here from now? As the news has been reported today that Dan Quinn has informed the Dallas Cowboys that he intends to accept the head coaching position for the Washington Commanders, leaving the Cowboys with even more stuff to go ahead and fill in. This ain't too much surprising. Only reason is we all felt Dan Quinn's been ready for a head coaching situation, head coaching position for a while. And you kind of look at it in Jerry's tenure, after Jimmy Johnson, really, a lot of coaches that Jerry has had for the Cowboys or just staff members, a part of all his coaches that he has had, that they done had their coaching staffs. Not too many of them has had success going somewhere else or getting promoted to better jobs. That's one thing I have noticed about the Dallas Cowboys. Barry Switzer came in. I mean, outside of the Jimmy Johnson tree, I guess you could probably say Mike Zimmer, probably your only one, and then you got Dan Quinn. But, hey, it is what it is. Oh, I got my man Danny in the house, man. I look, hey, what's going down, man? Appreciate you for tuning in. Looking forward to trying to do something, most likely Sunday. I'm having an open invitation for all my Cowboy fans to come join the platform on Sports Raps, and, we can discuss some more things for sure about these Dallas Cowboys for sure. Making a lot of noise. Let's go. That late night session, man. Hey, that's how I get. How you feel about your Lakers today? I see your Lakers pulled a big one over the Celtics in the Garden. It's rare to get a W in the Garden. I see the Lakers then came out and got that thing. So big shout out to you for sure. And like I said, man, appreciate all the love, man. If y'all haven't yet, check my boy Cowboy Nation Danny out for sure. I'll be having him on the show every now and then when we talk some Cowboy sports. I'm looking forward to probably trying to add a group here Sunday, and we can do some things for sure. So let's go get it, man. Dan Quinn, he's gone. He is head coach of the Commanders. Now, we all felt if he was going to get a job, it was going to be in Washington with the Seahawks, but for some reason that just didn't happen. We don't know why, but he's finally gotten his job. He's finally gotten the head coaching position. Now it's interesting to see who he takes with him from this staff, as a lot of people in Cowboys Nation want Joe Witt Jr. to go ahead and be promoted to the defensive coordinating position. If not him, if he goes with Dan Quinn to be the defensive coordinator at Washington, then we're looking at Al Harris. We want to really stay within, because I think mostly everybody on this defensive coaching staff, from Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr., Al Harris, everybody is like on par. Everybody's on one accord. Everybody feels each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is speaking the same language. Now, what happened down there, in the playoff sequence, like I said, it was just more due to injuries. But before I go into that, you look at a situation that you got right now, and you ask yourself, if you're Joe Witt Jr. or Al Harris, do you take this defensive coordinating position job knowing that the head coach of the football team right now is won 12 games 3 consecutive years, and he doesn't have an extension? And he's in the last year of his deal. So if I do take this position and all else fails, the season bombs for the Cowboys, you're most likely going to have a whole new coaching staff anyway that might come in with a new want to have a new defensive coordinator anyway. And I think that is something that the Cowboys are really up a battle against, especially Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. I mean, you want to talk about some dudes whose 2024 season has gotten that much harder. It has been that, because you look at Dan Quinn, he leaves, go to Washington. Not only do you leave and get a head coaching job, but now you're in the division. Now we got to see you twice. Somebody that is very familiar, that's been around what Mike McCarthy likes to do and what this Cowboy organization is. So now, not only that, you've been around 3 years, and now we get to see you twice a year. And not only that, you got your boy Kellen Moore over there in Philadelphia being the offensive coordinator. So, like I said, man, the chips are stacked against Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, hands down. But Dan Quinn, I think we're not too much. I don't want to say we're that surprised. I don't think nobody's surprised. Nobody's surprised. I think for the simple fact, we felt Dan Quinn should have took a job last year, but that just didn't happen. Washington, maybe he's going to have a little bit more leeway over there. So that's probably a better position for him to take, although that's really all he could get right now. If you're the Cowboys, what do you do going forward? What do you do moving forward? Do you try to throw the whole bag at Joe Witt Jr.? Only the problem with that is, like I say, even if he does do a good defensive coordinating job, but you end up firing Mike McCarthy because they come up short, who's to say the next guy that comes in don't want to have him as the defensive coordinator? So that's some things that you're up a battle against right now. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, me personally, whoever you bring in, they're going to have to run some similar of a 4-3. As much people think, who can you bring here that could kind of be multiple run 3-4? You ain't running no 3-4, bro. In my opinion, you're not running no 3-4. Number one, you didn't even have enough linebackers to run a scheme that was a 4-3 that required less linebackers, let alone you trying to run a scheme that has more linebackers. I don't know. What you talking about? What you talking about, Danny, up in here? He said, I don't care if Dan Quinn goes to the Commanders, take Michael Parsons with them. Cry, baby. Ha! Boy. Hey, man, you gotta understand, man, them dudes still young, man. You know, Michael Parsons, he's young. He's born into this era of the social media where, you know, he's going to talk a lot. And there ain't nothing wrong. If anybody can talk, it is Michael. I mean, look, did he, you know, not play his best down the stretch? Maybe, but at the same time, we all sat there for weeks and weeks and sat there and was like, bro, Michael Parsons is not getting no holding calls. And it was blatant as day he's getting held. But we never saw it. But I feel you. My nephew, he's a Commander fan. He's a Washington fan. I don't know how. I think it's because of my old man. You know what I'm saying? My old man was a Washington fan, but I can understand him because he was in the glory days for sure of seeing some Washington football. But I don't get my nephew. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, Washington ain't never did nothing. So I'm with you on that. At least 2024, Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott better beat them boys twice. There's no thing about that. No thing about that. Now, what I like to see coming forward, you know, like I said, we talk about the names that are in-house. Now, the other names a lot of people are talking about is, what's the name? Martindale. They got him, and Mike Zimmer has been brought up a lot just because, you know, he has had his history as being with the Cowboys and working for Jerry Jones. Another thing is, some people are saying, what about Mike Vrabel if he's willing to take that position? I just don't know who you can. Mike McCarthy is going to want a veteran head coach because, like I said, right now he can't be doing too much changing right now. And if that is going to be the case, then Like I said, there's more pressure on Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott now than ever has been. And we see what they do when the pressure is on them. They really don't tend to seem to go that good. So, Cowboy fans, my outlook, what I have right now is 2024 season is going to be one of those seasons that's going to test your health, and it's going to test your fandom of being a Cowboy. It's gonna test your fandom of being a Cowboy. I guarantee you, because this season is gonna be one of those typical seasons that has drama. Got to get new players, got to get new blood, I guess. And you're right about that, Danny. Hey, you've got to hit on everything you got right now. On all your draft resources, you have got to hit. You got to hit. And if you don't, you're going to be stuck in the mediocre years just like you was with Jason Garrett. Now, word came out that Jerry really wanted to fire Mike McCarthy, but he got talked into bringing him back. Now, I don't understand why, but hey, it is what it is. Mr. Cowboy, what it do? What it do? Appreciate you for chiming in, my guy. Always giving the channel some love. Appreciate you and Cowboy Nation, my man Danny in the house. We over here talking about Dan Quinn up in this thing. We all seen it coming. I don't think everybody's too much surprised. I don't think everybody's surprised about what happened with Dan Quinn. To see him go to Washington, it's like, you could have stayed if you was gonna go to Washington, but I don't. There's something that's got to be going on with Cowboy organization, because I think there's just a lot of, don't nobody trust each other right now. And if you're Mike McCarthy, you have came up short. Yes, I understand. But like he said, dog, you done went 3 straight seasons, 12 wins, bro. And you mean to tell me it ain't a lick of a contract extension, which I wouldn't, I would have fired him too, bro, because I think you have seen Mike McCarthy at his ceiling. We can talk what we want to talk about Dan Quinn, but before Dan Quinn got here, this defense was the worst. And like I said, this is probably a reason why Catboy don't spend no money in free agency. When he brought Mike McCarthy along and he brought Mike Nolan in as his defensive coordinator, and they went and got all them free agents. They weren't big money free agents, but they went and got everybody up in there. They went and got a lot of big names. And what happened? None of them even made it out of training camp, bro. None of them made it to the preseason. None of them. And it resulted in the Cowboys having their franchise worst defenses ever. Here comes Dan Quinn. Now, they give up. They have never been able to be a great run defense. We know that. But since he came along, they take that ball away, and takeaways are just as good. Takeaways are just as good. It's just, if you're not going to be able to stop somebody like that, you got to have your offense ready to play and ready to answer every bell that goes. And unfortunately for the Cowboys, that's something that hasn't happened. You say Trey Lance will play against the Commanders and Dak will not play? A lot of y'all are out on Dak, man. That's something I can't, like I said, I'm not out on Dak. I'm really not. I'm not going to sit here and say you will win the Super Bowl because of him. I've been on record saying that. But the situation does have to be right. And I just think coming in the 2024 season, it's not even coming off a disappointing loss how they had. It's just now the one thing we were saying about the Cowboys that we liked about these Cowboys that's been winning 12 games and stuff like that, the difference that we liked about them, there was no extra drama that, all that extra stuff wasn't going on. They were just winning, but just falling short when it mattered most. But it's not because they had any drama going on. They kind of been clean. That's something that you got to give the organization finally some props for. Not full credit, but this is something that you see. But Trey Lance, like I said, when he was brought in, the only reason I had an idea of why he was in here is because you want to have leverage situation and you want to put pressure on Dak. For you to not even let Dak know about what's going on or something like that, there's still some untrust going on between everybody in there. And now it already started with Dak when they went through their first contract negotiations. Now it's starting to seep into the, Trayvon Diggs. He was upset about his whole contract situation. You just paid him. Now you got CeeDee Lamb coming in the mix, and then right in the rearview mirror where things appear closer than what they seem to be, you got Michael Parsons. And now Michael Parsons ran his mouth talking about, Dan Quinn, where you go? Maybe he might want me. Yeah, man, stop. You ain't going nowhere. You stuck here too. You just need to be playing linebacker. This Cowboy said he want Ron Rivera. So you want to do a swap. We do a swap. Ron Rivera, I don't mind Ron Rivera for the simple fact he's going to kind of stick to the same. He's a 4-3 guy. He's going to preach more about stopping the run, bringing physicality, the defensive line being and the linebacker core being more physical, more about stopping the run. And then, you got your corners on the back end. To be honest, that might be the type of coach that actually be in the right situation. I like Mike Zimmer, only Mike Zimmer, he's been out of the game for a minute. But you did the same thing with Mike McCarthy. You know what I'm saying? You did the same thing. We talked about the same thing, and he said Trey Lance was playing the preseason. So a lot of people got Trey Lance taking the Dak Prescott story, to be honest with you, because this is exactly how Dak Prescott is where he at now. He came in 2016. Nobody expected nothing of him. Kellen Moore broke his ankle or broke his leg. Dak Prescott took all the preseason snaps. And the rest is history. So does that get Dak on his toes? If that only gets Dak on his toes if he knows this guy behind him can actually play. I don't know. I don't know if Trey Lance can play. That's my problem I have. I don't know if Trey Lance is really a good quarterback. Do y'all? And if y'all do, show me the NFL footage. Give me some film to look at. I'm right there with you, Mr. Cowboy. I thought if any job he was going to take the Seattle job. And that's why when it went this long for him to not get that job, I was more under the impression this guy is going to stay with the Dallas Cowboys because that has to be the job he's looking for. But some things have got to make sense. Maybe Washington came with a bigger bag at the end, so it's all gonna be the pen. Yeah. We talked about Mike McCarthy getting fired in Green Bay because he just couldn't get it done, and now you look at this situation. Although all situations are not created equal, I'm just speaking from a place of if you do any type of job or anything like that, and you have really been successful for your job, and they let you go on some bullshit. It's one of those situations where you shouldn't even been working for them then. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Mike McCarthy, no matter what if you extend Dak, I'll put it to you this way. The only way you don't extend Dak is basically saying, look, him and Mike McCarthy are tied in this together. If it don't work, then we'll start over. But if you're not extending Dak and then giving CeeDee Lamb his contract, then you're going to basically run it back with the same roster, if not worse. That's not very smart. Drafting, I don't care how good you can draft. To me, honestly, you're not drafting that good because your picks are you finished where you finished got you at the 24 spot. So you're picking to the end of the rounds, man. Now, if you were at least in the middle, I give you some leeway, but a lot of these are going to be late round picks that you're picking. Unless the Cowboys, I'm telling you, I don't know who, but it could be a mover to a person that they can slide, get them a little something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's going to be interesting. But I will agree with this. You know, Trey Lance, we brought you in. If anything, you do need to be ready when your number is called upon. I will say that much. I'm still riding with Foe, no question. I'm still riding with that Prescott, but I'm not naive. Boy, your seed hot, man. You boiling crabs on that boy. You know what I'm saying? You want, and it's mostly about the postseason. You can stink in the regular season just to get by in the postseason and have a super duper run, and then all is forgiven. But as of right now, everybody in Cowboy Nation, we stressed. We stressed, baby. East West Shrine game is on. I did want to go to there. I got some people that I'm cool with. They're in the section in Frisco right there. I wish I would have went, but it's been a rough week, and I've been going at it here on the content here lately. And like I said, I just did my other podcast show, Heart of Texas Sports, for IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Make sure y'all catch that every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. On the speaker app, man, we go live, man. You can make sure you follow me on X at Drewski Selfmade. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Threads at It's Drewski. Y'all already know what this station is. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, man. We gonna keep going up on everything DFW Sports, and we already know about what's going on with everything in the DFW, especially when it talks about this Cowboys. He said his team will look a lot different the next 2 to 3 seasons, man. And I'm in agreement. Hey, 2024 is that's the go all in where y'all gonna have to make do with what we can do. We're thinking about going in a whole nother direction. And if the Cowboys do, I will actually applaud Jerry Jones because I'm like, for Mike, like I said, for Mike McCarthy and Dak, the last 3 seasons, y'all done won 12 games. So, I mean, you have to get to the NFC Championship game. I said that last year. We were saying that last year. You have to keep his job. But then as more as the season went on, I'm like, bro, when he got to 12 wins, I'm like, he's going to finish out his contract. But now you go less than 10 wins, you missed the play. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot. It's going to be a lot, and the pressure is going to be on them every game they lose. Mike McCarthy, how do you feel this impacts your job status? You're going to get that week to week, and then here come Dak Prescott. How do you feel this affects your head coach's job status, and how do you think this affects your future as a Q? See, that's going to be the drama. It's like on Charlie Brown when the little playpen, guy got that cloud around him. You know what I'm saying? That's all they stuck on. They got this cloud around them, bro. Something needs to happen. Cowboy Nation, Danny, hey, man. I understand Mama Lamb. She got to do her thing, but let's be real. CD Lamb don't get those numbers if he don't have a quarterback to throw it to him like Dak was. Now, did he have to bitch and throw a fit to get the ball thrown to him? Yeah, sometimes you got to do that. I saw Michael Irvin do that. I saw Randy Moss do that. We all saw T.O. do that. I mean, the great ones want the ball. So, yeah, but you can't do that. You can't do that, Mama Lamb. You can't do that. For the simple reason is CD is about to change his whole family's situation. His whole family situation is about to change because he's about to get paid. He should get paid. And Dak has a big hand in that. Dak has an extraordinary hand of getting that dude paid. So look, Mama Lamb, you didn't say nothing no different than what a lot of Cowboy fans or a lot of non-Cowboy fans were saying. You know, I'm not going to fault his mom for saying what she said. That I'm not going to fault. But you can't let that go out public, I feel, especially when he has had a helping hand of getting your son, basically putting your son in a situation to change your whole family's life. You know? No, Cowboy Danny. No, man. I ain't messing with no Dabo Sweeney. Hell nah. Hell nah. I'm a Florida State guy too. On top of that, so I ain't really liking no Dabo. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really feeling that. Like we said, Mr. Cowboy, I would really, everybody really prefer Al Harris just because we think Joe Whip Jr. He's gonna end up going. We think he's gonna end up going with Dan Quinn. But then again, sometimes you just got to look at the situation. You know, it's some good spots down here in Dallas Fort Worth that where you can live, raise your kids, and got good schools and all that type stuff. No state taxes, that type thing. But I just don't think the situation is just good for him right now because everybody who's in there right now, to me, is on a 1-year deal, except CD when you get him another deal. You better not go in here talking about we about to franchise him. Man, I wish y'all tried to, Mike. I wish. You better not. Al Harris, I think you want to keep him at some capacity here at all costs if his defensive coordinator are still running with the secondary because our corners have, bro, to have corners the way we've been having here the last 3 years is something refreshing, bro. It makes quarterbacks a little bit nervous to throw on us. Now, toward the end of the season, teams just realized we were just too small. And like I said, the Cowboys was fast on defense, but they just lack physicality, and that wore on them down as the season goes. When you gotta play like that, I don't know about that. Oh, Richard Norwood, appreciate you for jumping in on the chat, man. Welcome to the show, man. He said Al Harris is wrong. Hey, you heard Micah even say it. Micah even want to go with Dan Quinn. You know what I'm saying? He want to go with Dan Quinn to Washington. So that's where I'm nervous at, and I don't blame none of them. You get a fresh start to go with Washington, and you get a longer leash. You get a longer leash when you go over there in Washington. You're at least getting three years. Cowboy position right now, you have a 1-year, it's basically a 1-year deal. Because if it all goes for nothing, they suck, Cowboys suck, then Mike McCarthy's getting fired, and then you're going through a whole new coaching staff, a whole new idea, a whole new voice anyway. So this is where I'm like, Cowboy fans, be ready, y'all. Make sure this offseason, man, y'all are taking care of y'all temples the best way that y'all can. Make sure y'all taking care of y'all temples, man, because this is gonna be whoo-wee. This is gonna be one of them seasons, man. I don't want nobody getting no heart attacks, suffering no strokes, no aneurysms, because messing with these funk ass Cowboys. I do not want to see that happening. So, man, get y'all some plenty fruits up in y'all, man. Keep y'all some coconut water. Keep y'all some electrolytes up in there. Keep y'all some natural stuff. And, man, strengthen that temple. Regardless if you go to the gym or, you do it in-house, man. Get yourself right, because I'm here to tell y'all, man. Hey, what's the show? Sanford and Son? Elizabeth, I'm coming to you, baby. That's how it's gonna feel, because it's gonna be too much drama going on, man. I wouldn't say that. But like I said, as much as I like Dak Prescott, if the Bears said, look, we will take him off y'all hands, we'll give up the first round, I do it. I do it. I stick it and do it and do it and stick it. I stick it and do it and do it and stick it. I sure would. I wouldn't think twice. Like I said, and like New Jack City, like he did G Money. Man, I am my brother's keeper, but I need this first round of my God. Bow. But I'm still riding with Foe. I know that ain't happening. I know that ain't happening. Ain't none of that happening. None of that is happening. We got to get CD Lamb, bro. Like I said, I think he's the first thing on the mind right now. I believe he's the first thing on the mind right now. You got to get him done. You get him done, and then we'll talk about that. I don't really believe Jerry Jones sitting here saying, you know, all he said was we'll go as far as Dak takes us. I mean, and then he said, you see where it went. He said, you see where it went. So, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, man. There's something in me that just wish that, you know, Jerry would be like, hey, Jimmy, now that we done buried the hatchet, let's go ahead and try to make miracles one more time, baby. How much you think about that? Oh man, I wish that'd be a fantasy world, but Jimmy Johnson, he don't want today's problem, which I ain't mad at. Commander fans are hungry for a winner too. They got early draft picks. They just got to get them another quarterback. You know, they traded away a lot of people, a lot of their defensive personnel as well. So it's going to be interesting to see for sure. But you get them twice a year. And what's about to happen is you're about to have basically your whole defensive coaching staff over in Washington. So like I said, this shit gets harder for Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, bro. Dak has been really running the division. Let's be real. Now, we're tired of the division. We want some more, but Dak has been killing the division. Now, this is going to be very difficult. This is going to be very, very difficult. You know, he right. You got Michael too. Now a lot of people are starting to go sideways on Michael. They like, bro, look, either you is or you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Either you is or you ain't, my guy. But if you're talking about getting a roster better, I believe you have to invest in free agency. You're going to have to invest in free agency. Hey, Sanford and Sons is one of them shows for real. For real. For real. But I don't think nothing's fair. Nothing's fair in business. Nothing is ever fair. But boy, oh boy, oh boy. If I'm Mike McCarthy, I'd quit. And if I'm Dak Prescott, I say the hell with y'all too. I'd bounce too. It's one of those y'all gonna miss me when I'm gone type shit. It's like one of those situations where you're at a job and you know you do so much at the job, only you're one of those people that you say you go by the pay rate, but you do it so good. And it's just like one of those, man, if I leave, I ain't teaching nobody nothing. Y'all just gonna have to learn it like I did. I don't want to be one of those people, but I'm just saying. A lot of people has turned on Dak, rightfully so, but this is the same guy that I know for a good moment of fact. People had him in the MVP talk. Dog, his season was still, bruh. His season was still legit. Oh, they didn't play nobody. Well, damn, bro, that ain't they fault. That is not they fault that they ended up being trash while the Cowboys played them. That's you know what I'm saying? Because to me, you lose those games and you don't remember when they lost against the Jets? Y'all remember that shit back then? They lost against the Jets? Yeah. He said never invest in free agency. Well, we know Cap Boys not. Me personally, I would if because just for the simple fact you're on a 1-year deal. I don't know what rookies can do for you right now. Unless you got the top end picks, you're not getting top end picks. Your first 2 picks might do something for you. They drafted last year their first 2 picks. Both guys came from Michigan. Mozzie Smith, I don't know what the hell happened to him. But he came in and he just seemed very slow to the game. And then he ended up losing weight. Like, damn, bro, what's good? You fasting? What's the deal? You trying to clear your energy, trying to clear them toxins out you? What's the deal, bro? I don't know, bro. But they did draft. And what I will give you, Danny, what I will give you, Will McClay being at the helm when drafting, looking for the headshots. He's hitting more than he's missing. That is facts. Will McClay and them are hitting more than they are missing when they are drafting. That's total facts. There's nothing to argue about that. So I'm not mad that they do. I just don't think they have the full 7-round pick. I need to see how many picks they have this year, but I don't think they got 7 this year. So now you have limited. And this is where I keep saying maybe the Cowboys might trade somebody. They might trade a name or two to get some draft picks. Now, they're not going to get no first-round draft pick for somewhere. You know how Cap Boy and them operate. We value the middle of the draft, the 4th and 5th rounders. That's the meat of the draft. Y'all know they love them some 5th rounders. They love to show you how much the Cowboys love 5th round picks. They traded Amari Cooper for a 5th round pick. Stop and marinate on that for a second while I take a sip of some Dos Equis. Them dudes and something that you could have got way much more for. I think they were probably starting too high for, but damn, to settle for a 5 for Amari Cooper, boy, you slapping yourself right now. Come on, man. That wasn't smart. That wasn't smart. And you paid them. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. So, like I said, they like draft picks. They really do. So maybe we might have a name or two that might get traded here, and you might see them get a little bit more from the Senior Bowl. Now, like I said, the East-West Shrine game was tonight. It might still be going on. It's over there in Frisco. I'll probably have to go look back. But at the Senior Bowl, a lot of people are looking at offensive linemen. There's 2 offensive linemen. There's one, from my Queen school, Oklahoma. Everybody's raving about is the tackle spot. You know what I'm saying? I think from the Senior Bowl wise, it's hard to say because I see that the Cowboys will invest more. I think this offseason, this is going to go like this. They're going to draft more in the trenches, and they'll probably draft another running back late in the draft. But I think they'll spend more resources on offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and then they'll pick a running back coming out of there. And I think in free agency, they will try to address the linebacker situation. I think that's how they're going to go. So I didn't answer the question. Senior Bowl, maybe you might get, out of this class, to see them probably get more offense and defense alignment. I wouldn't, I go about 2. Maybe that's coming out the Senior Bowl. Like I said, if you're gonna get a player right now, you're gonna probably want to get you a player that has played a lot of football and is at least IQ good, that can come in and be able to adjust quickly. Because Mike McCarthy has no time. They have no time. They have no time. You ain't lying. I'm trying to get my credentials together too. Only it's in Mobile, Alabama, man. I should have been at the East-West Shrine game right now. That's where I should have been. But like I said, it's been a busy week. I try to balance, work life, family life, work life, and then my hobby life, which is doing this. So I tried that, and that's kind of why I'm coming at a late show as well. I'm trying to, shout out to the Queen Bee. She holds it down. She works from home, but she's daycare at the same time. So I understand for her, she's doing like 3-4 jobs. She's doing 3 jobs on her job, and then you got like 2 jobs while, being in motherhood. So I have a responsibility to, even though I'm on, I'm working too, and I spend my hours and I get grimy and work with the hands, but it is my, not obligation. It's my duty to make sure I can give relief then and there. I kind of didn't feel like doing the show today, to be honest with y'all, but I'm like, you know what? I can't let this ride. DQ going off into Washington. I think had he went to Seattle, I probably wouldn't have did nothing today. But for the simple fact you go within the enemy lines, how dare you? Oh yeah. That's how we gonna play. He said, that's how we gonna play. You just gonna be like that. All right. Well, sleep tight. Oh, Mr. King. What up, Desmond? How's life treating you, my guy? Appreciate you tuning into the channel. He said, anybody wasting time thinking about moving from Dak must not realize he got a 60. I've been trying to tell folk that. What he said, Jerry said he's going all in, right? Well, you're going to need money to go all in, and you ain't got no money until you start restructuring some money. So I'm here to tell a lot of folk, if you ain't, I know you're upset with Dak. Don't get it wrong, man. Like I said, I'm riding for Dak. Bruh. Has he not gotten it done in the playoffs? No. That's bottom line. That's something I can't defend. Now, he did get it done against Tampa Bay. That he did do. He did that. But as the last 3 years, when it come down to the losses, he has. I can't defend his play. I really can't. But to sit here and say that you're gonna do better next year or in the next 2 years with Trey Lance that you haven't seen anything with. On top of that, you're willing to let the money, come on, the money alone will make you be like, bro, I'm stuck. And this is really Darius and them problem. Had they took care of that contract the first go round, they probably have an out right now. But, you thought whatever. You tried to strong arm or somebody, and that's how it ended up happening to you. Real talk. Real talk. Hey, I'm looking to get my credentials as well. Like I said, I should have been at that Shrine game, but it's been a tough week, man. It's been a tough week, and I probably just now be getting on the road, leaving to get back here from Frisco. Nah, man. And after all them Cowboy games I went, even though I got the PTO, you got to get the money just in case you get you some overtime. Because Cowboys, I can't say they let me down. They only let me down because of the playoff game, that ticket. But all the money I spent, they went undefeated and they were smashing. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I can't be too mad. He said DC is still in Cowboys territory. You right about that. You told me. You went up there, huh? every time we do see Washington games, there ain't no Washington fans, but it's a lot of Cowboy fans in there. So you right about that. You right about that. Big facts. He said he did get it done in this game, but who can give up 41 points in a? I agree, and I, hey Dez, I said the same thing. You know, I was like, bruh, the stats Dak Prescott had, I expected those stats. For them to put up 32 points, I expected that. I expected him to. Now, it came in trash time. A lot of it came in trash time, but I was more like his stat line. I was like, bro, I expected him to do that. That's what makes it all more disappointing. Now, he gave up, like he said, he gave up the pick six. Now, he did throw another pick that they ended up scoring off of. So it wasn't a pick six, but it did cost some points. But to your point exactly, I expected him to have those type of numbers against the Green Bay secondary, the way they was being presented. There was no way, and this is where I put Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott at fault. There was no way y'all should have been held to 16 points going into the fourth quarter. That's where I'm holding them to accountable. They should have really put up them numbers by far before the fourth quarter even got there. That game should have been a shootout. That's really what that type of game should have been. But as you saw from the jump, Green Bay took they won the toss. What they do? They went right downfield score. Now, we gave them penalties, but they went right downfield score. And that set the tone right there. That automatically put the pressure on the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Now, I still got the film from the game. I didn't post the game because it was pointless for me because I left before they even got their scoring rally going on in the fourth quarter. But on that first drive, Dak gets a big scramble, keeps the drive going. Third down situation, we throw it to CeeDee Lamb. He drops the ball, and all of a sudden, CeeDee Lamb is in his head. CeeDee Lamb is in his head. He had, one of those Dez moments where, me and you used to talk about that, Dez, for sure. Bro, you got to stay in the game. That was the first possession of the game. It was a big drop, but for you to kind of go in the tank like that and let it affect you that early in the game, I think it had it overwhelmed them because Dak kept trying to go to him and it wasn't working. And now you see the body language. Now what does Dak do? Since he see his stud receiver ain't in it, now I got to press. Now I got to throw to Brandon Cooks, who runs a piss poor ass route. Nonetheless, he got held too, but that was a piss poor ass route. And that gets picked. Now we out of there. We out of there. He said, just get a damn running game. Man, and I've argued from the beginning. Tony Pollard wasn't the same, still coming off injury, but I still think it was just because of the center position of the offensive line, bro. Tyler Biadasz was decent in pass pro, don't get me wrong, but when it came to run blocking, he does not strike he does have no force at the point of attack at all, bro. And it showed. It showed time and time again. You could not get nothing really up in the middle in the run game. You just couldn't. Hell, the way he played in the run game almost made me miss Connor Williams. Shoot. What do you mean? I see he's a free agent as well, You might can get him for a low price. That's a Stephen Jones type move. Let's get it. Let's be real, y'all. Jerry's not running the show because Jerry would spin. Jerry's not being, Jerry gonna spin. This is Cap Boy. Cap Boy, like, nah. I'm trying to live off this inheritance too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to let my kids live off this inheritance too. We're gonna be penny pinching. Cheap bastards. Ooh, that make me hot. That make me hot. But you right though. I was at that game and it was like, bro, it was a lot of Packer fans in there, and it's like, there's nothing you can say. They talking shit and they deserve to, but Jordan Love and that offense and Aaron Jones, man, like I said, what disappointed me more than anything is Dan Quinn. What will piss me off more is you cannot beat a Kellen or a Kyle Shanahan tree coach. Your ass better not go to Washington and start beating on Mike McCarthy all of a sudden. Nah, bro. I'm gonna be like, wait a minute. Time out. Hell nah. Boy, you lose 2 games against Washington, I believe you'll see Jerry fire Mike McCarthy in the middle of the season. Unless he's playing them at the end. So you know what's going to happen again for the 3rd straight year. I think it'll be 4th straight year. We're going to end the season with most likely the Washington Commanders, right? We're going to end up with the Washington Commanders, and it's going to be one of those situations where we probably playing for a playoff spot. Oh, Lord. It's back to them early 2010 days. You know what I'm saying? Woo-wee. That stuff got me nervous. I wouldn't say because of Micah, but, you know, the flags and the penalties. D-Law ended up making great plays on that first drive, but he ended up making bonehead plays. And this is something that's held at the feet of Mike McCarthy. Since you have been the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, your team has been one of the most penalized teams. CD did get punked, bro. Like, dudes was pushing on. Like I said, bro, he dropped them first 2 balls, bro, and he was really, like, out of the game. He was out his mind, bro. Like, he was so hard on himself. I get it, taking the accountability, but damn, bro, it ain't even the 2nd quarter yet. Come on, stay with it. Stay with it. We got one pressure, and that's because I think they just turned Michael loose. I think they just turned him loose, and then we happened to just make a play. Other than that, bro, Jordan Love was in that, you know, we played zone, rushed our forward, did our stunts, didn't get home. Maybe from the it depends who we like from the Senior Bowl. I do think the Cowboys will invest in another running back late in the draft. I do believe that. I see that coming right there. It's something they should do. Like I said, me personally, I would spend my draft resources on the offensive line, getting me a running back. Go ahead and get CD paid, extend that, get you some money under the cap, and let's invest the rest of that in the linebacking core because, like I said, you're going to probably have a different – the defense got to be the main thing that got to be fixed. For a lot of people that we want a running game, you need to get a running game. But like I said, this offense was still productive, man. This offense was really still productive with no running game. With you know, not a consistent, dominant running game. You need to fix your defense. You need to fix your defense, and offensively at the offensive line, more at the center position. You need to get more physical at the point of attack. That's where I'm saying right there. Man, like I said, I still got footage. I guess I will release the shorts of them. I'm going to have to try to make money off it. So if it's any Packer fans out there or Cowboy haters, if you want to see the tears of some Cowboy fans in AT&T Stadium, go ahead and drop that super chat up in there and donate some money. I got some footage for y'all where y'all can laugh, point, and ha and get your 7 chuckles. You know what I'm saying? You're right. We brought back Lyle Collins. That's what I'm saying. You brought back Lyle Collins. Why not get Connor Williams? Shoot. Connor Williams, he just would hold and sometimes he snapped the damn ball in the dirt. But hey, nonetheless, like I said, right now, defensively, whoever you bring in, you're going to still have to run some type of 4-3. And I think I like Zimmer. Him being out the game just makes me nervous. So Ron Rivera, that'll be a Stephen Jones type of move. That'd be a veteran head coach who knows the division, and you're still within the same scheme because you're not moving to no 3-4. You bet not. If you do, you're starting all over. You don't even have the defensive lineman to eat. You're not even that physical on the defensive line like that. You have to have more big physical guys on the defensive line and more linebackers. You ain't got that. And you ain't got now. So you're stuck in the 4-3. Stay there. Stay there. That's how I would see. I don't know who we would have beaten, bro. To be honest with you, I don't know who we would have beaten just because it's just the pressure about the Cowboys. Something about when the pressure is on them, they collapse. They collapse. He said we never played zone. I feel you. I don't know what that was all about. I think they gave Jordan Love a little bit too much respect. And on top of that, knowing that Aaron Jones could hurt you, you played zone thinking that they'll have to run us out the zone. Oh, they ran us up out the zone. Hey, they ran us up out that zone. And like I said, whoever comes in, I like Al Harris, I like Joe Witt Jr., but they most likely going to get something fresh where they got a longer leash. That's understood because when you come here as the defensive coordinator, you're on a 1-year deal. Because if Mike McCarthy get fired, you're most likely gone with him too. It'll be a whole new regime in here. But, Jerry be upset. He get emotional. But there's people in this circle that can always calm him down, talk him about some reasonable stuff. He said, when was the last time Ron even was a full defense full time? You ain't lying. For the most part, I just be seeing him sitting over there chilling. But I mean, I think the last time was, I think the Cowboys tried to talk to Ron Rivera before when they were looking for a defensive coordinator in the Jason Garrett days. I think when he went to Carolina, his defenses in Carolina was nasty. I think he was more in control of the defense. I'm not sure, but I think he was, he was still head coaching at that time. So, but I mean, that's all I can think of right now. My man Danny said, nah, he ain't feeling Ron Rivera. He said he not even feeling Ron Rivera. But you gotta have somebody that fit this scheme. It's gotta be 4-3 right now. It has to be. Because you don't have enough linebackers to run a 3-4, and you ain't big and stout enough with your defensive linemen from defensive tackle and the defensive ends. You're not. So let's get somebody who's going to be able to run this type of defense. Or do you want a more blitzing type of person like what's his name? Wink Martindale? Do you want somebody like that? I don't know. In the words of Nori, what Jada Kidd say about Nori, that he took his dap back, Dan Quinn, the snap backwards, you know what I'm saying? Everything was fun. I gave you dap when you was in the circle, but now that you on the other side, let me go back up to you. Yeah. I'm taking my dap back. I'm taking my dap back, yo. Shoot. I'm taking it back. Loved you for creating all the turnovers that you helped get this team in, but we need something different, man. Need some young blood coaching in that room. You right, Desmond. And my man Cowboy Nation, Danny said the same thing. Let's get younger. Now, he wants like the Ray Lewis. So if you're gonna get somebody who's inspiring, but he also agreed, get somebody young up in here, man, that these people will follow. So I'm in total agreement with you, man. All our coaches are good old boys. Jerry can relate to, but Al Harris is that dog who has been there and has done it. Hey, he said wink and all that zero cover. You ain't lying, because basically you gonna have to. That's where Kellen Moore and the Eagles can kill us now, because all you have to do is run a little hitch and break a tackle, and now you're gone. But yeah, he do too much blitzing for my. It ain't just the blitzing; it's the zero coverage that make you the middle of the field wide open. Now we got corners, but damn, the rules don't favor them like that. He said, "Hey, we want that Al Harris, man. I just hope he don't leave. I really hope he don't leave. I really hope he don't. But I can understand if he was gonna leave. You want to take out of all defensive coordinating jobs, this will be one of your most funnest and best jobs. But you don't. It's not like you got a leash on you. Because, like I say, if this all goes downhill and Mike McCarthy is out of there, you're most likely getting a whole new staff regardless. So now it's hopefully Jerry and Stephen Jones have been. I hope they haven't been like they used to be and just thinking pie in the sky and being naive, thinking, "Oh, Dan Quinn, he didn't get the Seattle job. He'll stick around for." Man, I hope y'all already had y'all sights on somebody that you could really feel and bring in. Long as the Cowboys, long as they have done that, they might be all right. Long as they were above that. Twice all day and twice on Sundays for sure. We don't mess with them birds for sure. For sure. He said Al gonna need some more time. I agree. Just unless Jerry puts it to him, look, you have this amount of time to do whatever you need. Mike McCarthy's situation does not jeopardize you or the next coach that we will bring in. That's probably what he's going to have to do to keep him around. And you know, they have contracts. You know, they'll put that type of stuff in the contract and stuff like that. So I don't see nothing wrong with that, seeing that they can negotiate that with, because like I said, who wants to come into this situation the way it is now? Now, if it was 3 years ago, that's different. But I'm nervous about the Cowboys this season. I'm nervous for all my Cowboy fans out there, for our health. I think a lot of us need to make sure we do this season. We say new year, new me. Please take care of your temple, because come September, through that whole ride to December, man, week after week, y'all gonna be woo, and I'm gonna be right here with y'all. Breaking it down and being frustrated or being happy with y'all. But this is gonna really, really test our health, and it's gonna test our fandom. So let's be ready, y'all. Let's really, really be ready. It's almost about 11 o'clock. I did have to catch a late night session. Like I said, I'm still trying to see what happens more going on. I was going to take a break, but now looking at it, it's going to probably be some more things that just keep coming down the pike now. We didn't have the East-West Shrine game. I'm going to, see what I can do tomorrow before anything. But we'll try to jump on here and get some more content coming down here over the weekend for sure. Make sure, like I said, make sure you make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, because whatever is your favorite team that's coming from the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, I'm jumping on to it, regardless if it's the Rangers. And speaking of Rangers, somebody who want to spin and win. Before I go any further, FC Dallas even spent and got a big name player on their roster. We got the soccer team, the baseball team, they spending money. Jerry got all the money, and his son holding all the money. Come on, man. What's up with that? We'll talk about that on another show, for damn show. Oh, yeah, on the border still there. I'll be hitting that boy up faithfully. For sure. For sure. But, yeah, everybody's spinning around here. So, like I said, if it's the Stars, I got a couple Laker fans up in here. I already know. Like I said, I know y'all Laker fans feeling good today. You got a road win against the Celtics, which that is rare in this season. The Celtics, I think that's like they third loss, maybe fourth loss at home this season. So, hey, that's big shout out to Laker Nation. You know, I see y'all doing y'all thing, you know, still up in that hunt. So, big shout out to y'all. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that joined the chat room for show today. My man, Mr. Cowboy. Of course, my man, Cowboy Nation, Danny in the house. I look forward to having you on the show here sometime soon. My man, Mr. King, Desmond, what's up, bro? Long time no see, man. This is where I'll be kicking all the flavor at when it comes to I've been trying to run it here, doing it here lively lately, you know. Anytime, anywhere, man. I'm looking to join more people on there. I know how you rock with the Cowboys, so you know, let me know, and we can always do something for sure. Before I do get out of here, he does say this. Jerry, go get Patrick Quinn and slide Clark where he belongs on the weak side. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. You got to, I would invest my money in the free agency that I get money for. I will put it in the linebacker core, and I will use my draft resources for the offensive line first, defensive line, and then give me a running back. So that's big shout out. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Cowboy, as he's a faithful up in here, man. Appreciate you for joining the chat, blessing it with your, you know, presence. All y'all tuning in. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna do another show tomorrow, but I might end up having a family night out, you know, with the family, take the girls out, get us something to eat, kind of like recharge and everything like that. But you never know, you know. All depend. If something drastic happens, then I will make time. It just might be a little bit later, but I will make some time, and we can have this conversation, and we can always kick it and drop flavors, drop us some bars up here in the studio booth, which is the battleground for DFW sports, baby. It's sports raps. Y'all know where y'all at. This is where we hold it down for. And like I said, it's mostly we rock Cowboys, but I'm full season around, so you always gonna see my face on the YouTube because, like I said, it ain't Cowboy season, but it's always some Cowboy news to talk about. We're in hockey and basketball season, and we're getting ready to watch these Texas Rangers try to defend their crown. And then we'll get some Dallas Wings action as well as I'm trying to watch me some FC Dallas. So I'm going 360 all the way around. I'm really throwing my feet into it. And for my Laker fans out there, I'm really in that Mamba mode. I'm in attack mode. So I'm trying to do it all as I can. So appreciate y'all for joining the chat, and probably join me tomorrow. If not, join me this weekend. We're going to keep going up and keep talking about some stuff. And I'm pretty sure this weekend we'll have a lot to talk about as you have the East-West Shrine game and you got the Senior Bowl coming. I look forward to talking to y'all and breaking it down on some DFW sports rap. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all know what it is. The one-man force, the eyes and flavor of DFW sports. We done chopped it up about Dan Quinn accepting the head coaching position at the Washington Commanders. Most likely he's going to end up taking Joe Witt Jr. with him, maybe Al Harris with him too as well. We'll find out. Make sure y'all stay on the watch. We'll break it down as soon as it comes. But until then, man, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you've already subscribed, check out some of my videos that I got, man. Football season might be out of play, but if you ever itching for some Cowboy action and how we get down here at AT&T Stadium, especially during that 16-game winning streak, go check out my channel, man. Go check it out. I got at least 13, 12. I got at least about 12 games of the 16-game winning streak. So go ahead and pop up over there. Do y'all thing. And, you know, stay holding it down. Like I say, make sure y'all take care of y'all temples, man, because next season going to be tough. It's going to be tough. The schedule hasn't came out, but the opponents did. So that's something that we can all talk about as well. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Until the next time, man, make sure you do everything with love because you know love always wins. And around here, that is law, baby. I will catch y'all on the next time. Holla.